Hi guys, Marvin here from TechBroll.com, and I'm finally done testing the ASUS TUF 1660 Super graphics card, and today we'll take a look at its performance, thermals, and of course sound levels. I'm also going to provide you guys with more information regarding our ongoing giveaway campaign for this graphics card. With that said, let's get into it. Alright guys, I've already done an unboxing and first impressions of this graphics card alongside the announcement of our giveaway, which you can check out here or on the link below, especially if you want to join. But essentially, what you're getting inside the box is the graphics card itself, a user manual, and a thank you card. Around the card, we have of course the 3-fan configuration, some branding and logos, an 8-pin power connector, a massive backplate at the back, and the available output ports, which are DisplayPort, HDMI, and DVI. And like I said on the unboxing video, the build quality of this graphics card is quite decent with a massive chunky form factor. Okay, so before we proceed with the benchmarks, let's just take a quick look at the key features and specifications of the ASUS TUF 1660 Super graphics card so that you can have an idea what you should look into aside from the raw performance if you're planning to get this card. Alright, so first, of course, since this is a part of the TUF gaming lineup, it is built like a tank and has features that make it more durable than usual. So it features space-grade lubricant on the fans, which should allow it to last a little bit longer than usual, and it also features IP5X dust resistance to go along with that. Aside from that, it also features the patented Direct-Q copper heat pipe design, while in our case with this 3-fan configuration, it features Direct-Q3. Aside from that, this card was also manufactured using the Auto Extreme technology, which is more efficient and makes the card more reliable than other manufacturing process, at least in theory based on what we are seeing here. It also features a massive backplate which helps with the overall rigidity of the graphics card since it is also pretty huge. So additional support and protection to the circuit board is always appreciated. Aside from the hardware, we also have on the software side of things the GPU Tweak 2 where you can take advantage of the auto overclocking. Later, I'll show you guys if there's a significant improvement using that compared to just the out-of-the-box performance. And lastly, as you can see here, as with any TUF gaming product or component, it went through a rigorous set of testings including a 144-hour stability and performance testing. All in all, in terms of features, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it does have the necessary components that I am personally looking for, which is durability and reliability. Now, going to the actual specifications, this particular model that we have right here features 6GB of GDDR6 memory with a clock speed of 1530 MHz at its base clock, and 1830 MHz at its boost on the default mode, while boosting up to 1860 MHz in overclock mode. It also has 1408 CUDA cores, very important for us video editors, and it can support a resolution of up to 7680 by 4320, quite substantial for today's available displays. As for the ports, we have one DVI-D, one HDMI 2.0B, and DisplayPort 1.4. And since this is a fat card, it will take up to 2.7 PCIe slots. Now, all these key features and specifications won't matter much if it won't perform as expected, so let's head to our benchmarks and find out how it stacks up with the rest of the graphics cards that I have. But wait, before that, let me give you some information about our ongoing giveaway. So on our unboxing video, I mentioned that ASUS and Nvidia is giving this card away in a 3-influencer campaign, which includes myself, Gloco, and Trisha Potato. And to join, all you have to do is share our contents, either our unboxing or review video like this, but the version that we posted on our Facebook page. I will leave all the links below so that you can share them later. Now, once you share it, make sure to set it to public with the following hashtags. ASUS will announce the winning influencer fan base on January 25, so again, for a better chance of winning, share all of our videos, alright? So moving on, let's check out the performance of the ASUS TUF 1660 Super. Now, as for my methodology for testing graphics cards, and I believe it is important for me to share this information with you so that you can have a better understanding of how I came up with these results. So first, I make sure that the graphics card driver is updated, and in this case, I'm using the latest version 441.87. I also make sure that the resolution is 1080p running at 60Hz with VSync and G-Sync off. I also verify the graphics settings of each game before each run and make sure I'm not using any custom fan curves for the graphics card. Aside from that, I also try my best to have our ambient temperature as close to each other in between runs. All benchmarks are an average of 3 identical runs, and the FPS captured either via Fraps or MSI Afterburner depending on the game. All testings are done inside an open case. Now, I try my best to make sure all the captured data is accurate, and even a small mistake, I see to it that I redo the benchmark if necessary. I'll pop the complete specifications of my PC on the screen so that you can check it out. Alright guys, as usual, let's start with the synthetic benchmarks to get some idea of how these cards differ in a more controlled environment. So in 3D Mark x Pi, which is a DirectX 12 benchmark, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super performed well over my Zotac 1070 Mini, with a total score of 6,209 and with a GPU score of 6,187, and the same goes with the Time Spy Extreme, which is the 4K version of this benchmark, with a total score of 2,808 and with a GPU score of 2,807. However, in 3D Mark Firestrike, which is a DirectX 11 benchmark, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super fell below compared to my Zotac 1070 Mini with a total score of 14,465 and with a GPU score of 16,024. As expected, the same goes with the Firestrike Ultra, which is the 4K version of this test, with a total score of 3,393 and with a GPU score of 3,189. And for our last synthetic benchmark, which is the Uni-Engine Superposition, which is an extreme performance and stability test, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super performed decently in both high and extreme tests with a score of 8,538 and 3,250 respectively. Now moving on to our gaming benchmarks, the results are actually quite interesting, with the ASUS TUF 1660 Super going back and forth against the current graphics card that I use, which is the Zotac 1070 Mini. Quick disclaimer though, the benchmark results of the ASUS TUF 1660 Super and the Zotac 1070 Mini are recent, but the results of the two 1650s are from when I reviewed them a while ago. I just added them for additional reference. So in Assassin's Creed Origins, which is still a quite graphics intensive game even in 2020, especially at ultra settings, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super performed on par or even exceeded the performance of my Zotac 1070 Mini in terms of average FPS at around 69 FPS. Now in Battlefield 5, which is a more recent title and certainly a graphics heavy game, at 1080p ultra settings, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super performed decent as well with an average of 95.37 FPS. Now in CSGO, which is still a very relevant FPS games, though not as graphics intensive as our previous two games, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super performed well over 100 FPS at very high settings and in 1080p resolution, with an average FPS of 159.33. However, it is significantly lower compared to the Zotac 1070 Mini. In GTA 5, which is also a known graphics intensive game, in 1080p ultra settings, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super again performed well over 100 FPS with an average of 114 FPS. Now in Apex Legends, which is one of the most popular battle royale games right now, this is one of those instances that the ASUS TUF 1660 Super was able to outperform the Zotac 1070 Mini with an average of 114.43 FPS. So as you can see, depending on the game, these two graphics cards are going back and forth. Lastly, in Rainbow Six Siege, which is another popular FPS game right now, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super was able to outperform the Zotac 1070 Mini yet again with an average of 194.9 FPS. Now, I think the main difference between these two is with the memory, with the Zotac 1070 Mini having an 8GB memory, so it has a little bit more headroom for the games that require a lot of memory bandwidth. On the other side of things, what the ASUS TUF 1660 Super has going for its advantage is when it comes to power efficiency thanks to its newer architecture. So as you can see, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super has a TDP of only 125 watts, while the Zotac 1070 Mini has a TDP of 150 watts, and as per my testing, the ASUS TUF 1660 Super reached 129 watts during load, which is significantly lower than the 183 watts of the Zotac 1070 Mini. Another advantage of the ASUS TUF 1660 Super is with the thermals, since it features a quite massive form factor with 3 fans and the direct Q3 heatsink design. At idle, it sits cool at only around 36 degrees with an average temperature of 53 degrees on load and only spiked up to 64 degrees at max. Now in terms of the noise levels, well of course with the 3-fan configuration, it is expected that the ASUS TUF 1660 Super is the loudest at 100% fan speed at 71.7 decibels. However, at idle, it's relatively quiet at 40.6 decibels. Alright guys, before we finish this video, I also tested the ASUS TUF 1660 Super with the ASUS GPU Tweak 2 software installed in a couple of games to see if there will be a significant difference if you take advantage of the auto overclocking feature. So at default mode, which is the gaming mode, the GPU clock speed is at 1830 MHz, and turning on OC mode bumps it a little bit at 1860 MHz. And as you can see on these additional benchmarks, depending on the game, there's a slight bump on the FPS, which is nice, and it's up to you if you want to use this auto overclocking, or if you have enough knowledge and experience, you can also opt to overclock it manually. It's totally up to you, but you have this feature if you need it. Alright guys, there you have it. I hope you get a thing or two in this video, and I guess the main takeaway from this is that if you already have an existing previous generation card like 1070 or even 1060, I think upgrading to 1660 Super is not the best option. I would highly suggest you go straight to the RTX cards if you have the budget. However, if you're just starting to build your own PC and you don't have a budget for higher RTX cards, or you're just planning to play in 1080p or even 1440p, then the ASUS TUF 1660 Super is a pretty decent option. Another thing is that if you're planning to build around the TUF gaming ecosystem with other TUF components and peripherals, then this should be on your list. By the way, for those who have purchased or will purchase selected ASUS or ROG GeForce GTX or RTX graphics cards from December 28 to January 27, 2020, you'll have a chance to get premium items. Check the link below for the complete mechanics. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to join our giveaway for this graphics card, keep sharing our videos, and use the proper hashtags. Huge thanks to ASUS and Nvidia for giving us a chance to get this card and for making this review video possible. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you like this, and see you next time. Have a great day.